Dear friends, welcome to MR Connect. Today's quote from MR Connect is allow yourself to be a beginner. No one starts off being excellent. Yes, don't restrict yourself. Don't hesitate to do anything. Just try to allow yourself to be a beginner. No one can actually start off being excellent. So that's it for today's quote. Today we are going to see how to implement an event using Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager. Okay, so what is an event? Event is nothing but tracking an action that is happening on the website. So if a visitor is clicking on get free training button, then that is an action that is taken by the visitor who is coming to the website, right? So if we want to track how many people actually clicked on this get free training button, we need to implement a GA event here and then it should be sent to Google Analytics. Okay, how can we implement a GA event on this particular button? We can able to do it using Google Tag Manager. So let me open the Google Tag Manager. I'll choose my account where we are having the tag manager for my website. So this is the tag manager. You might have only one tag manager account and only one tag manager container, so you can choose that. If you have multiple, then you can choose whatever is relevant to your website. Okay, so now after opening the Google Tag Manager, you can see add a new tag or tag section here, right? You can click on anything. So let me go on to tag section and check how many tags are already there. Only one tag, which is Google Analytics tag, GA, right? So I can click on new tag and I can name it something like free training button click and then tag configuration. Since we are implementing universal analytics, we can click on this. This is called the template that is already provided by Google Tag Managers. We can choose that. We can also implement as a custom HTML, which is not a beginner method. So I will explain it in later detailed sessions in the coming days. So now we are going to choose this in today's session. Okay, after choosing that, track type is page view. We are not going to implement any page view. We have already implemented that. So I can choose event, right? So event will be having the Google Analytics event will be having three different parameters. So what are the parameters? One is category, action, and then label. So these are the important parameters, and we are also having value. Okay. So what I can do is I have already chose the event type, track type, and I just need to give a category for this. See, there will be many button clicks on our website. So what I can do is for the button clicks, I will choose one category. So what we are going to track is we are going to send some information to Google Analytics, right? So I will choose the event category name as event underscore some information. Okay, and then action. So action is actually people is clicking on the button. So event underscore button underscore click. And which button people are actually clicking on? They are clicking on free training button. So now this tells me whenever anyone is going and checking the Google Analytics property and event section, they can easily understand that okay, somebody has clicked on the button and the button is called free training, right? So I will just leave the value as empty because it is not relevant, and I will keep this false, non-interaction hit. What will happen if we change this to true? Then it will be considered for the bounce rate. Okay, so now this should not be considered for bounce rate. For example, non-interaction hit. Now, are we interacting with the website? Yes. So is it an interaction or non-interaction? Yes, it is an interaction. So non-interaction should be false, so that it will not consider for the bounce rate, right? It will not affect the bounce rate. So I can choose the trigger condition. So there is no trigger because what I need to do when this event should be fired whenever people is clicking on this button, right? So what I will do, I will create a new trigger by selecting the plus button, and it's again free training button trigger. So I can name it that way, and it is a button click. So I will choose click all elements and some clicks because we are going to implement specifically on the free training button, right? I can choose something, page host name, page path, page URL. So we are not going to choose anything from this because it is a button click, right? If we implement on the page URL, then on that particular page, whatever button is there, it will this event will be fired on all the buttons. Even though in this we are not having any other buttons, don't try to choose the page URL. Just try to create the variable called click text or class. Okay, now we need to check, do we have any class or id implemented on this button. Let us inspect and check that. So on this button we don't have any class, we don't have any id, right? We have a class for the div element, but we don't have any class for this particular button. Anyway, we can even use this class to implement it, but I will go with the button text. Okay, so text will be the easier method for this particular case. Okay, let me copy that, and I can go here, and we are going to actually choose the click text. So this is the built-in variable. So Google Tag Manager is having some built-in variables. Okay, so we have multiple built-in variables. If you see here, there are multiple built-in variables. This is already used by provided by Google Tag Manager. Even we can create new variable also. So just search for some built-in variables. If it is not available, nothing is relevant for you particular implementation, then you can go ahead and create new variable. But for us, yeah, we have a click text and it should contain get free training, right? Okay, we can click on save, and we can save the tag also. I'm sorry, I haven't selected the Google Analytics property. So I should select the Google Analytics property. I can create a new variable for that. Otherwise, what I will do now, I will just enable the overriding and I will provide the property ID here. So what is the tracking ID? Yesterday we have seen that, right? So you can choose it from here. So this is the tracking ID. I will copy this and go here, and then I will paste it. So what I'm doing, I'm not creating any new variable for it. Actually, we have to go ahead and create a new variable. But now in this case, I'm just overriding it and using the property tracking ID. Okay, so that's all. If we click save now, then it should get saved. Yes, right. And if I click on submit and then publish, then it will get published. But before that, whatever if we implement on the Google Tag Manager, we can use the preview option in order to test it. Okay, so this is the preview. If I click on it, it will open a new window, and see, we have to provide our URL here which we are going to test, and click on start. So if we click on start, it will open a new window and open the website. If we go and check here, there will be a continue button. Click on continue. So now we have created the tag which is called free training button click, which is not fired, right? The tag which is created for GA has been fired. That is the page view hit is fired, but there is no event hit. Okay. So now what we have to do, we have to go and check here. We have to click on this particular button, and now it moved to a different page. Okay, so what we should do, we should check tags not fired. Still the tag is not fired, so there is some problem here, right? So now we have to come and check here what is the problem. See, let me click this because this is the home page where we clicked on that particular button. This is the particular click. So we can choose that, and this tag is not fired. We can choose that. Why it is not fired? There will be a into mark or cross mark. So it is called click text get free training. So that is not matching. What we have provided is not matching actually. So what is the click text? We need to identify it, right? So close that, and again in this particular click, just check the variable and click text. Okay, the click text is having get free training, which is in the capital letters, right? So this is case sensitive and we need to change it, right? So I can go back to that and click on this particular button trigger, and I can change this to get free training, which is in capital. So I can click on save again, and then I can preview it again. So let me preview that. Yes, it is opening and we are going back. Okay, fine. So let me check. Yes, there is continue button. There is no tag file which is for the event, and I can click on the get free training and let me check it now. Yes, very good. It has been fired. See here, it is firing, right? So what mistake we have did? What I did is I just right clicked it and copied it from the inspect element. So for the user, the visitor who is coming to the site, they will see get free training in small letters, but in lower case. But the Google Tag Manager is actually not identifying that. The click text is in the capital letters. Okay, it is in the uppercase. Fine. So now the tag has been filed. Yes, we need to check in Google Analytics, right? We are sending the event to GA, but whether it is actually tracked by GA or not, we need to check that. So how we can check that? We can go to the real time. And yesterday we saw the overtime overview, but today we are going to see the event section. So under event section, there should be one event. Okay, very good. In event information, event button click. This is what we have filed, right? So we can click on this and check it again. Yes, event label is pre-training. Fine, we are good. We have already implemented an event on the web page. So similarly, we can implement another event on this button. So you can go ahead and implement using the same method what I have explained you for the home page pre-training button, right? Thank you. That's for the day. I hope you have enjoyed the training. Please do subscribe, and whatever content you want from me, whatever training you want from me, you can just go ahead and comment on the comment section. I will go ahead and explain it in the coming sessions. Thank you so much.